you need to know what the short term and the long term effects are.
Right.
Yep.
You know what's crazy though? When they was doing that furlough scheme, those people that actually work in banking.
Alright, we're up and running, bro.
Senior.
Up and running.
Are you running?
Yeah, we're running now, yep.
Right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Say Kah Halal.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash.
Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And you know, brothers is kind of excited today. We're kind of titillated, extremely titillated. Yeah, I know it's not because of some basketball game or some foolishness like that. It's because we're seeing prophecy unfold, man. All right.
Yep.
You know, let's hit the scriptures off the bat. Then we're gonna get into it, man. Because you should already know you should know the situation that's happening right now, which could be a black swan event. We got to see how it plays out in the short term. But actually, no. Because you could say the whole thing is one thing, because the FTX leading on to this, like everything is part of the downfall, man. So this is a major event, man. Second largest US bank to collapse in American history. And it won't be the last. What's it called? SVB?
Silicon Valley Bank.
Silicon Valley Bank. Oh. Okay, let's get the scriptures, man. Because you see, the Great Millstone, and like I said in my video last night, we're not here to brag and boast and to make it look like we're great. We're not great in that way. It's not about us, but it's to prove that the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with us. Yeah, that's why we're able to say before the Lord has given us eyes to see, where we can understand the scriptures. But not only that, we can go into the world and filter everything that's happening in the world through the scriptures. So we're educating you and letting you know, so as these things come to pass, you don't lose your minds, that you understand, okay, this is all part of the plan, this is all prophecy. But that takes prudency, and that's a spirit of wisdom that the Lord has given unto the watchmen.
Can I grab something quickly?
Yeah, grab it.
It's
I want all of it.
Yeah, Matthew chapter 16. And let's start from the top, right? The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting, desired him that he would shew them a sign of heaven. Okay, talking about Yahweh Shai, they're tempting Yahweh Shai, right? And he answered, said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times.
The signs, man. That takes prudency. Also takes faith to look for these things, man. Now, all of this, what we're doing, goes back to the fact that we teach about the destruction, the downfall of this man's society, the destruction of America, martial law, the time of Jacob's trouble, and the MOTB, which we told you, the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is the implantable chip, but it's a system that comes along with that. And in order for that system to be brought forth, right, the old system is going to have to be liquidated. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for, and we said that these things are going to happen. We said that all of you that trusting in the bag, that's trusting in the dollar, that's trusting in the pound, because the people trust in these fiat currencies, they trust in the banks, that trust is going to be to your shame.
These temporal things.
And guess what's going to happen, man? That's going to lead you to then go and take this new thing that they're going to bring out. You got more precept? Yeah, go on. Let's get some of these precepts. We're going to get right into it. Because we told you. We were mentioning bailings for the last 3-4 years, maybe. We've done algos. In fact, a recent algo I did with the elder Ariella, where we showed, Lynette Zhang, and she was talking about what? The FDIC. We brought out it's funny, isn't it? It's funny that not long ago, I think it had to be like 2-3 months ago, 3-4 months ago, the FDIC had a meeting with Jay Clayton, because Jay Clayton, who used to be the head of the SEC, see, we know these names, man. Okay, you niggas need to, and this is why you get vexed with Jake, man, because only thing Jake knows or understands is celebrities, man. Yeah. Only thing Jake, if you say some celebrity, Jake know every celebrity, but they don't know who Jay Clayton is, man.
They don't know the things that don't impact the world.
They don't know Gary Gensler. You know what I mean? Because they're not watching what's going on in their own kingdom. And a prince is supposed to peruse the entire kingdom, man. Right? So your boy Jay Clayton's after FDIC, and he said to himself, listen, man, we gotta warn the people that there's a chance of bail-ins, but at the same time, we can't warn them there's a chance of bail-ins. Because by warning them there's a chance of bail-ins, if something was to happen, it causes the bail-in. Because what? There's a bank run. Because what's the truth of this man's system? The money don't exist. All these banks and financial institutions are over leveraged. And it only works because there's not a bank run. Everybody's not running to get their liquidity, to get their cash out. And the minute that happens, the whole thing collapses in on itself. Even the FDIC, as we're going to go into, who insures all American bank accounts up to 250K, they're over leveraged. Because guess what? If there's a system-wide, systematic collapse of all the banks, they can't cover every bank account up to 250K. And they know that.
Yeah,
So
because what astronomical figure would that be?
come on.
So
They ain't got the money there lying around in someone's basement, and they don't want to, because they want it to be that there's a crisis, so they could bring in the new system. Go on now.
This is about Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foresees the evil.
You got to be prudent. In fact, hold that. Look up the word prudent for me, please, Baba Kasha. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, because guess what, man? The freezing of the bank accounts, the bail-ins, that's great evil. The glitches, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't access your account. Well, what if you got to buy medication that day? What if you got to buy food that day? What if you got to get petrol that day? What are you gonna do? Ask man for IO. Man ain't giving you no IO. What, you think they're gonna give everyone their IOU? That's evil. Or a man saved up his life savings to do this or do that because he's worked hard for his money and that's gone. That's evil.
So the word prudent, I've got from online etymology dictionary, is means wise, discerning, judicious. From Old French prudent, with knowledge, deliberate, and directly from Latin prudentum, knowing, skilled, sagacious, circumspect.
Looking knowledgeably with skill, analyzing. Listen, what's going on? What's really going on? What's really good? Yeah, getting to the bottom of things.
It says look ahead, prepare, supply.
To look ahead, like where is one thing going to lead to? What is the conclusion of this matter? And that takes prudency, that takes time. You can't do that when you're being entertained by the NBA or the NFL and the NHL and the twerking and all these things that Esau sets up in the society to keep you stupid, to keep you distracted, so that when these things happen, they can take you by surprise. Well, I can't get my money out the bank. Like, what's going on? How is this possible? Well,
if you watched, you know, took the time.
Most Jake don't know what the FDIC is. They think that's a TV program on CBS or something. Yeah, they don't know what that is, man. They don't understand none of that shit, man. Cause Jake been dumbed down in this society, man. Jake only understands, the majority of Jakes understand pussy money. They don't understand money, but they think about pussy, money on a superficial level, weed, and sports. We're trying to get you out of that dumbed down, beastly spirit, man, and become more princely. Because a prince is prudent. A prince is supposed to judge. A prince, when he makes an action, is supposed to look at, like what we're talking, the long-term and the short-term actions, even down to a complicated level. Because sometimes when you're dealing with a situation and you're judging it, sometimes there's ramifications because of something else that's going on over there you need to take into context that can affect the outcome. And that's what a judge and a king does. A judge and a king has to see, okay, if I do this, in the short term this will happen, but in the long term this will happen.
It's like a game of chess. You know, you're planning your moves ahead because you got to look further than what you're just doing right now.
In chess you got to be prudent. You can't just be superficial.
Like, nah, you got to think about what you're doing.
That's why chess was a game of what?
Wits.
Kings, nobilities, princes. And are we not princes of power?
Yeah.
The scripture says, with the Most High, thou art a prince with God. So if we're supposed to be royalty, we're supposed to become royal-minded. A royal person is a person of intellect, of wisdom, of knowledge, and of understanding. But then you got these camps, they don't want to go into these things. They want to keep everything simple. Oh, the white man's the devil. I keep it all like that. And then so that's why you don't understand what the MOTV is, because you don't even understand the financial system. You don't understand none of the infrastructure that's being built around you. You don't understand. Really, you're like a farm animal. When a farm animal doesn't understand how the farm works, they just go over there, eat there, graze there. So the day they go to the slaughter, they don't even know that's why they was there.
He's only eating good because of this day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They don't know, man. They don't know what that truck that's been coming in and out is doing. Hey, where'd John go?
Hey, what business do they have? You know, they're asking questions.
Yeah. Quick research on that point. This is Sirach 5.
So it's lucky. That's why RT, you know, their slogan is ask more. Question more, innit?
Question more, man.
Question more.
It's spooky right now, man, because really, Esau's, this whole system is on a planned demolition, dustification, just like 9/11, yeah. And so it's not gonna end here. This is one thing's gonna lead to another.
Yeah.
Now it could be that, you know, the next knock-on effect might not be for a month, 2 months, 3 months, but make no mistake, there will be a knock-on effect of this.
There will be casualties.
This is Sirach 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
Right, you're not supposed to be living in ignorance, man. So a lot of you, man, if you ain't heard of what's happened with the SVB, then maybe on Twitter you ain't following the right people. Maybe you need to stop following Kim Kardashian, innit? Maybe you need to stop following Will Smith. Maybe you need to stop following The Rock Johnson and start following people that's gonna give you some real information.
And the funny thing is, yeah, like, even though they're not clued up, they still got a lot to say. Always got things to say, man. Even though you're not in the loop, it's funny that way.
I was even gonna say, just on here, even in the UK, like all the banks used to have payment systems via their apps here, where you could utilize like an app from your bank specifically to pay. And they, as of recent, most of the bigger banks have all moved their payment apps to Google. Like it's all centralized back into
so
Google
they don't
Pay
have to
as well.
run the infrastructure.
They don't have to run the infrastructure, and they've got it all centralized in that one reporting point as well. And on top of that as well, they're not opening bank accounts unless they get stringent KYC on you and got essentially all your data, because they're moving towards
Identity ID.
Yep. Yeah. Tony Blair, William Hayden, man, were talking about it.
Yep.
You know,
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Because the serpent was more subtle than any beast. What scripture you holding, brother? Yeah. Let's finish that. So a prudent man foreseeth the evil. So we're telling you, man, that the day is gonna come where these currencies, where they're already inflating, but these currencies are gonna have the financial system is gonna have a complete meltdown. And they're gonna have a solution waiting in the wings, and that solution is gonna be your CBDC, your digital ID, and your implant. And so as you see this event, the reason we're so titillated, we're extremely titillated right now, is because we know that this is another big step forward,
Another catalyst
towards that event that we know is coming. Now these other camps, they ain't gonna see it that way, because they don't even know what a bail-in is. They think a bail-in is something to do with a boat, like maybe you're putting water in the boat instead of bailing the boat. They don't know what that is, man.
Can I get a cue for the brother, finish that off? This is from Proverbs as well, chapter 13, verse 16. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly.
When Nate came out,
Where's my dog?
said RFID is only for location service purposes, he showed that he's not dealing with knowledge. He's not dealing with the science. Yeah, because that's not scientifically correct.
It wasn't accurate.
And you ain't got no excuse nowadays, because there's the prophets to show you, what you need to do, and then what do you think we do? We use the resources, man. We use the Urim and the Thummim and get to the bottom of things. And sometimes you're gonna get disinfo, so the Spirit of the Lord's got to guide you. Okay, let me see what this says, what that says, and then filter it through the scriptures. Okay, that don't make no sense. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Because a lot of times what you'll find is, if you know what someone's ultimate goal is, it's very difficult for them to trick you. You understand?
Because it still leads in the same.
Like if they say the key to any good grift is misdirection. So you might make a man think you're trying to steal this. So they go all, they're trying to, but really you want to steal this. But if the guy know you really want to steal this, he won't care that you're looking at that, and he'll be like, nah, he don't really want that, because you know his intention. They show you that in Game of Thrones. That's what made Littlefinger so dangerous, because no one knew Littlefinger wanted the throne. So he was able to do what he was doing, and no one suspected him because they didn't know his true intentions. But we know the intention of Esau, because the Bible tells you we're not ignorant of the devices. The word devices mean plans. We're not ignorant to the devices of Satan. Why? First and foremost, because his plans are prophecy. We know he wants to market the beast.
And that's why we know we can verify certain information, even though there's no real verification for it. You know, the whole the Russo thing is something that was discussed and he brought out. Now not that we trust him and what he's saying. That's not really what it is.
But it makes sense.
But according to the scriptures, it makes sense. You know, when Nick Rockefeller said what he said, we believe that because of the scriptures.
What did he say? He said, "What's the end goal?" He said he wants everybody chipped, and if they don't do what they're told, we just turn off their chip. Meaning what? They're dead out here.
Yep. So it ain't, like I say, it's not these individuals that we trust in and their words and all that. It ain't nothing to do with that. But they're just verifying what the scriptures are we putting out for us to understand. You know.
Oh man, it's juicy, man. Oh, it's a good day today. Let's go. Yeah, man.
Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Yeah, there are certain people, they were already getting their money out. Now that's in the world. We're prudent in the spirit. So ultimately we're preparing ourselves to deal with these things. And then you can make certain, contingencies that you might do, but ultimately our contingency is Yahweh Shai. That's how prudent we are, because we know that ultimately that's the only way you're gonna get out of this thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but even in the world it works, because there's certain men that could see that was happening, and they probably already took their money. They already kept minimum amount of money in, spread their risk. Because man, these banks ain't looking too good, man. You gotta, but really ultimately that's what caused it. The guys moving into, into different assets, pulling their money out, man. So, yeah, man, you got to be prudent. You got,
This is when the money flowed in Egypt, Genesis.
No, hold that for later. Get me laying up your treasures on earth. That's why all you Jake out here, man, like I said, that you believe in money, and that's why you do anything. You will transgress yourself to chase the bag. Oh, the bag. A lot of you are gonna find out that bag you was chasing never existed.
Like God is with you. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 12. For wisdom is a defense. Some man can defend themselves from these losses that these men are taking right now because they were prudent. They were seeing what was going on. They moved it out, whatever. They took less damage, right? Yeah. Cool, right? So and money is defense, right? We know money answers many things, all things, right? But it ain't gonna get you salvation, though. That's what we have to be clear on. Money is not gonna protect you from the judgment, because you can't bribe the Most High. You can't offer up your.
Well, how are you gonna offer it up when it don't exist anyway? Yeah, this is the point.
Yeah.
The money ain't gonna exist, man. It's not gonna be here no more. Right now, there's guys that we want to get into. Circle had 3.3 billion in this bank. On Monday, they're gonna get 250K back. Oh, damn. Hey, listen. Nose diving, clean. Just clean. Just wear your best suit and nose dive. 3.3 billion. You know how much a billion is? A billion is 1,000 million. It's 1,000 million. So it's 3,000 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're getting 250K back on Monday.
That's a quarter of a mil.
What kind of percentage is that? Yeah. That's not even a percent.
That's not even a percent. It's like
you can't replace that. And the same thing's gonna happen to all your favorite celebrities. Man like Mayweather that you think are so rich and they got all this money, when you don't realize that a lot of their wealth is caught up in assets, so there's no liquidity there. And the wealth they do have in cash, well, we just told you, only maximum 250 grand of it is covered. So you could have, Dr. Dre, I got 100 million in the bank. Oh,
Nothing wrong.
well, these men are getting back 250k on Monday, and if you think that's not going to happen to everyone else,
Systemic, man.
we'll see.
Oh,
And all that, what's it going to be worth? So they're going to be in the line with everyone else trying to get that mark, trying to get some of that new money that what's his name was talking about. Spike Lee in the advert. Oh, the new money. The new money is freedom. All right,
We'll
cool.
find out.
The old money was oppressive. Oh, okay.
It says, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
And the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And if you fear the Lord, you reverence His word, you respect His word, and you respect the prophets. But these people, they don't believe in the word of the Most High, right? They don't fear, and that's why they're falling short, man. And everyone's gonna get caught out here. Everything you trust in is gonna fail. It's gonna fail you, man. It's failing, man. Right now, that man trusted in the bank. You gotta trust the bank to put 3.3 billion there. When would a man put 3 billion worth of his net worth in a thing that he don't trust? He trusts that. Then he got the phone call like, yo, what the fuck? The fuck? Yeah, you know? And now there's a bank run on them now. Go on.
Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourself.
Because this man holding their money in circle,
Yeah.
thinking that was safe.
Yeah.
And now there's a bank run on circle now. And then that's gonna be certain men that were holding their money in circle. They needed that money, so now they're gonna have to go sell some other asset to get some liquidity. What's that gonna do to the price of that asset? Drive it down. Then another person had relied on the value of that asset, because guess what? When SVB was what did they have to do to try and save the bank? They had to sell their assets. Their $200 stock went.
Fashion.
See, it's a domino effect, man. Hey,
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doth corrupt.
everything here can be corrupted, including these fiat currencies that everybody worships and believes in. That they'll sell their soul in, that they suck. You know, they do everything for OnlyFans, and they're doing the most. Man are going to Dubai and getting people. Oh, here's 50 grand and shitting on themselves and doing all kind of madness because they're chasing this money. They want to do whatever it takes to get this money. Oh, yeah.
And it's not even real money.
It's not even real.
It's not even real.
Oh yeah, I got money in my. Hey, check my bank account. Look, my bank account's healthy.
Some
Look
numbers
at this.
in the computer somewhere.
Alright,
There's
cool.
no money that back. There's nothing physical that actually
tangible
backs up those
assets.
numbers.
Your house
You
can
know?
be taken from you. All it takes is a man with a gun, and that house is gone. All it takes is one missile, and the house is gone.
Earthquake like in Turkey.
Yeah, earthquake, anything. Your house
Fire,
is gone.
anything.
Anything out here can dissolve. You can't trust in it. Proud of their house price. Well, guess what? House prices are only high because, again, people are not all having to sell. Because if everybody has to start putting their houses on the market, you know what you're gonna find out? No one can afford to buy these houses. So then what are you gonna have to do with the price of the house? It's gonna have to go down. And when the price of the house goes down, you start finding out you're in negative equity now, or now the house is a burden.
It's like some of the discussions I have some of the guys at work, innit? Because you know they got their houses and things like that, and they're renting out places. And what are you gonna find? Like you talking about, as long as he's got alcohol, it's leading to trouble, man. I wouldn't be doing that right now. You know, but they're gonna find that. They're gonna find that, innit?
Everyone's trying to find that safe haven right now. What they're gonna find out is there is no safe haven.
Yeah.
The Esau is gonna provide you the safe haven. That's gonna be the MOTB. He don't want you to have nowhere. That means the pensions. Listen, don't let us start talking about the pensions that all these men are loving off. Oh, my 401k. Oh yeah, I got a fat pension, mate. Huh? All right.
Unless you're retiring today, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about that pension, okay? You see,
Lean-
you heard what happened in London, right? When the pensions nearly went belly up already.
Yeah.
Well, no.
For
Late-
that, like that.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break in and steal.
Yeah.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, wherein neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break in nor steal.
Right, those spiritual things, man, that the Lord holds, that you can trust in. You can bank on the Lord. You putting down credit with the Most High. When you got that deposit with the Most High, you can bank on that. You can make a withdrawal in that day. That withdrawal of mercy. that withdrawal of salvation. Listen, one thing we do know, this is for free. That man can't make a withdrawal right now, you know. Them man are pissed this weekend. Listen, man's wives are getting beaten up this weekend. my man's at home right now, one of them executives from all them different companies that I know that they're trying to make phone calls. They're in the bedroom. They're making listen, I'm good for it. I just need like 50 mil. I need a good 5 mil. I said, listen, man, I don't know if we can help you right now. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and then the wife comes in, honey, are you ready? Shut up, Aaron. Throwing the cognac across the room. Get the fuck, you know what I mean? You're always stressing. Listen, right now, we're getting.
Are we going out to dinner tonight? Shut up.
Listen,
Oh, you need to communicate more.
It's peak for certain people right now. This weekend is spooky. There's a lot of companies, which we're gonna get into it, that the working capital was in that bank and now it's all gone and they don't know when they're gonna get that back. So how can you now operate your company with no work or less, not enough working capital to keep your business running? Now you're at the mercy of the lenders, and the lenders, you know what they are, right?
Sharks.
They're sharks. They're like, okay.
Smells blood.
Well, maybe we don't want to lend, maybe we want to buy. Go on.
So it says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
That's right. That's why you can't keep your heart in this world, because them man will come and steal it. Right now, some man, their heart was in that bank, and now there's someone that's gone. That's been stolen now. They can't recover it. It's not gonna be recovered, man. That thing's gone into a black hole, and it's gonna stay there for all eternity. All that billion years from now, they ain't getting that money back. It's done.
Isaiah
So it's like, it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 30. Read on from 30, right?
Uncertain riches, bro.
And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not.
That's why you gotta be in this time, because you gotta be ready to lose. You gotta be ready for our bank accounts to be empty.
Yep.
Cause we were up. Listen, I got multiple banks. I can't trust none of them, rude boy. Can't trust none of them. Like Halifax, Barclays, all these banks are shaky. All these banks are over leveraged. All these banks are what's it called? Are linked together with derivatives that really, if they want to, these banks will fall like dominoes. Bloop, 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 bloop. And remember, the too big to fail business, what saved the Lehman Brothers last time, what did they say? They're not doing that bailout no more. They want to do the bail-in. So they already prepared for this.
They're gonna use your money.
Yeah? Mayweather's money gonna prop that up, yeah?
Yeah.
Sell out niggas, all these, you know? All these middle class, upper middle class Edomites that's got their savings.
Shit.
Yep.
Go on.
And they that use this world as not
Get up
abusing
some of
it,
them on Twitter
for the
too.
fashion of this world passeth away. So you invested in this world, you've been building that. You have to know that anything that you've done in this world is gonna disappear. Right? It's gonna go, right? You're gonna lose everything. We're all gonna lose everything that we have in this world. Be it your car, be it whatever finances you got. If you've got a house, your house is going. Like the WEF say,
You
you
own
own nothing.
They weren't playing.
They're not
Esau weren't playing, man.
They're
That's
playing
why the
around.
Bible tells you that it's nothing more evil than a covetous man. They said this man is as deaf and he cannot be satisfied. You man thinking that was a joke, but that's in the scriptures. He really wanna own everything, and including the people, and put you on rations, man.
But again, this is backed up by the precepts, right? So when the organisation like WF comes out, they are part of this agenda. We know it.
Yeah.
We know that's what they're going to do. It's not a conspiracy. It's there in the scriptures.
And they said
like,
2030.
yeah,
What year are we in, brother? 2023. Now, just because it says 2030, don't mean they ain't gonna start making moves. They think you ain't gonna own nothing, man. And you people are here, like the average.
hearing it.
The average J don't understand that. These are the man that's moving and shaking and controlling everything that actually affects your life. Because guess what? Let me tell you this for free. Because all you niggas look up to gang members because you think gangs is what's running the world. So you want to act gangster. Gangsters don't rule the world. Niggas with low batties and bandanas, yeah, emotional little Negroes who can't think 2 seconds ahead of them, who couldn't explain any aspect of the economy to you at all. They man interview them and they can't articulate anything they want to say. Them man don't rule the world. That's why when the cops come, they run. They're using Esau's money. They don't set rules and laws.
what was it the other day? Mexican cartel. Man were pleading with, was it the US?
Yeah.
or
They
something?
They didn't want the
it, bro.
smoke,
Yeah,
man. They didn't want the
it, bro.
US military
And them man are
to come down.
ruthless.
Against other cartels though.
Yeah.
And unarmed farmers.
It just goes to show you.
Yeah, unarmed farmers and avocado man. Yeah, they can bully them, but they can't bully governments. Not like that. Them man, the US government will come in and them cartels will be begging for mercy.
Mm-hmm.
So all you niggas look up to all these gang members, but these gang members are not the ones controlling your banks. They're not controlling your house. They're not controlling anything except moving some work on the streets and killing other niggas. They're also controlled by Esau Edom. Esau controls the supply of the drugs they receive.
And they're always hiding their money. Why are they hiding?
Because they ain't,
So
they ain't really on
you can't be in
nothing.
the open.
No, the man them that's really doing up, you know,
In the open.
is man like the top elites, man, and they're peons. Like Klaus Schwab and these different prime ministers and all that stuff. They actually be doing shit. They put pen to paper and they make shit happen.
Yep.
They be shutting down banks, man, from behind the scenes. What? Whole bank shut down. No gangster could do that. They ain't got the power to. They couldn't do what my man did with MF Global and disappear customer accounts and go before the Senate and said, I don't know where the money went, and man walked out. You think? You think they could? That's why you gotta get your mind right, man. Well, this gangster shit is bullshit, man.
It's the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 23 and 4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not?
Yeah, man, are laboring, man. Cause The Rock told you, this world is bullshit, man. I'm telling you, The Rock told you that in order for you to be rich, you got to wake up, you got to get 4 hours sleep, because it's somewhere there's someone else working, so you got to work harder than them. So a lot of these guys that's making that seven-figure money, them dudes don't have a life. The reality is them dudes fucking are always working. Their life is the work. Them men are not chilling. We chill more than they do 100%. Them men are going to bed at 1, waking up in the morning at 5, 6. They're living off cocaine. It's true. So that they could have the $1 million mansion and all that stuff and their wife and all that, but they don't get to enjoy none of that really. But the super elites, they don't work like them. You think they wake up, listen, their man get the full sleep, but they got their minions that there's a level, because that they even said once you start earning over, they did a survey, once you start earning over $75,000 or $80,000, your quality of life doesn't improve. Because most people that's earning that kind of money, they working.
It's getting taxed the shit out of.
They're getting taxed the shit out, and they're working hard for that P. They can't rest. They're under pure stress, pure strain. Everything, the buck stops with them. That's the reality of it. Us man could just check out and go home. They can't check out. Phones. When that bank thing went down, their executives, their phones are going. They working all night. Like, what's going on? The man that's the lower level dude, he's asleep. He's banging his woman. Like, you get me?
Yeah.
The other dudes got to do all that. So you got a certain level of people in this world that they have millions in the bank. They've had to sacrifice their fucking life, sacrifice their morals. You know? The boss wants to fuck his wife. The man have to allow the boss to fuck their wife to get that partner position. Also, that man can collapse the fucking banking system and take all the fucking money anyway.
Nothing guaranteed.
How painful is that shit? You might as well have just been like us, man, and struggled anyway, and at least you can, you know, have the
Get some integrity.
get some time off or some shit, man. I hate taking work home. Motherfucker, anyone that lives and you're taking work home, that's a fuckery right there. You brothers know, we love the jobs where you earn decent money, you go to work, and when you clock,
out.
listen, the way I work, when I sign, yep, I've left, yeah? As I'm walking out the door, some fuckery happens, that's their business.
I'm out.
Them man ain't not calling me. Are you mad?
Like, nah, fam, you're alright.
But you do area manager and all that. They're calling you up,
You
man.
got a choice.
Calling you up when you're sleeping and then.
Call you up in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 in the morning. The service is out. They ain't gonna be calling me. Do you want to do overtime? No.
He said, will thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For leeches certainly make themselves wings.
Hey, that happens.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bye.
have you got the one where it says how many of the account, how much the FDIC is covering? Let's get that. Riches,
Wings, like Red
wings,
Bull.
boy. And that happened in FTX. I mean, this happened before, but FTX was a big one, and that was all set up. The whole FTX was a massive psychological operation and a ticking time bomb that was set up. The whole SBF, what was it? Sam Bankman-Friedman he didn't set that up, man. The dude's borderline autistic. He didn't set that whole operation up. That operation was set up by the elites behind the scenes, and it imploded exactly when they wanted it to implode. It imploded exactly when it was like a trigger. And then mans that had bare money, they had all that FTX. Them man were flossing on other people. Oh look, I got this. Listen, in like 24 hours, them man were broke, applying for McDonald's, down bad. Trying to sell whatever assets that they had on eBay, cause they finished. Same thing with this. This man's that had millions in that bank, now their millions has got wings, bro. It just went, man. And it's sad for them, but I'm not bothered. But when you got this truth, you can't get no wings. Yahweh Shai said he was with us always, even unto the end of the world, man.
That's right.
You could be naked and you still got this truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up?
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Yes.
Still got this truth though.
That's right.
The elect will always have this truth, man. But you always gonna have your money.
That's why the scriptures say, you know, in that time of trouble, man, the Lord said, "My servant shall eat." Like, a lot of people ain't gonna know how to get any food, man, because they haven't got no money or they just can't access it. You know, but one thing for sure, that the servants of the Lord are gonna eat
You get one, and
be
there's another
provided
image
for.
one as well. I think.
And that has nothing to do with anything in the world, like
Yeah,
anything in the
I'll
world
send
that
you
we got
the other
or
one.
had or anything like that. It's because you trust in the Lord. Those that trust in
Is
the
there
Lord
one that has a
are
long
provided for,
the
man.
group?
So we ain't worrying like these
The
people
first
are gonna
one
be
that,
worrying like,
right as well.
because in their mind, once they've lost everything, man, and they there ain't no other options but to go the route of taking the MOTB.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna be stressing at that moment
Yeah.
because we know exactly everything that's going on. You know.
Listen, let me tell you this for free. If that man could get that money back, that man will take 10 chips by Monday. Listen, let me tell you this for free. If that man could get that, listen, that man there, yeah, that's stressing right now, that's on, they've been on the whiff since Friday. They've been awake for good. Listen, they've been on the whiff. They be whiffing back the lines like Kell Brook, and they be whiffing it all the way back, yeah. Trust me, if that man could take a chip here to get that money back on Monday, they'll be taking that chip, and that's what they want. They want to get people into that. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, how am I gonna? Oh. Then the savior comes, yeah. Go on, man.
I can't. So it says here, while there are some analysts calling this an extinction level event.
It is an extinction level event because that's a major fucking bank. Like I said, it's the second largest bank in American history to collapse, and it happened in 48 hours. And it's a bank run. It's basically pulled the skirt. Like, even in 2023, a major bank is still susceptible to a bank run because they all are. There's not a bank on this planet that is fully, what's the word, collateralized.
Covered.
They ain't got it covered, not even a little bit. Them man were frantically selling them assets.
Because you know how banks work, right? You know, the money that they got from you in their thing, they leverage that.
Leverage it.
10 times, 20 times.
What do you mean?
No, I'm
No,
saying
1,000 times.
1,000.
No.
You know, they're always leveraging money, you know, doing deals with this company or that company, or buying this or buying that with your money, right? So it's no surprise that when the money comes out, when everyone wants their money back, it's not actually there. It's caught up in this or that, and it's just not there. It's just not physically there no more. You know, just numbers in a system. And when that number's zero, you know we're getting shit. Except if maybe you're 250 grand if you're covered.
And then you got to take that 250 grand, right, and probably pay off your creditors that you owe, or you got to put it in another bank.
The pain, the fear.
There you go, man. We should boast, and then they're gonna take that and then over leverage on that to buy up the asset. Bro, this thing is a big joke.
The thing is that fiat currency, but there's no safe place for fiat currency.
There's no safe place.
Right, because even if you didn't put it in the bank, you put it under your mattress. Let's just put it that way, yeah.
Man.
Your money is getting devalued, man.
Because
It's going
JP
zero.
Morgan, apparently JP Morgan was benefiting from the bank run because people were taking their money out of that and pumping it into JP Morgan.
Yeah.
But the JP Morgan's taking that, hyper leveraging that, and using that money to buy. They're gonna use that to buy up the assets of all these companies that are about to go bankrupt. Bro, but they're still gonna be over leveraged. Hey man, it's gonna be funny, man. Let's keep going on this, man.
It says
It's gonna be hilarious.
for the small tech businesses, but I guess we will have to wait and find out what happens with the FDIC next week and how much we can withdraw. At the moment, it looks like customers can withdraw up to 250k on Monday, and then after that, it's like a bankruptcy process to claim the rest, which could take a few months. If you have
A few months.
I'm not guaranteed. Not guaranteed.
You better hope that wasn't working capital. A few months.
And because there's no guarantee, like bro was saying, if you're trying to get money out, like get loan out somewhere, they're gonna be like, well, we don't know you're gonna get the money back to pay us back. So
We don't know how many assets they were holding.
Mm.
That's and what it's worth. Right now, they had a lot of stock. That stock price gone. The stock price- So what they said in the documents is what you're going to end up having is a stake in the bank. But the bank fucked. Anyway, go on.
It says, if you have most of your working capital in Silicon Valley Bank and you employ 20 plus people, 250k isn't going to get you very far. That's true.
Hey.
Yeah, that was the point on that. And then let's get that one. Because remember, you mentioned the FDIC's covered up to 250k, right? We'll see how many of the actual people had 250k in there so they can get all their money back.
So this is the second largest bank collapse in US history, which seemingly happened overnight. Currently 93%.
All planned, all pre-planned.
Okay.
And then, what was the date? The 10th of what? March?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's 13. Illuminati signals, man. And Monday is the what? The 13th. Yeah? Go on, man.
Currently, 93% of all deposits at SVB are above the £250,000 FDIC insurance
So
limit.
97% of the account holders in this bank, they have more than 250 grand in this bank. Like I said, Circle had a little bit more than 250. They had 3.3 billion, so they're done. They're absolutely done out here.
Yeah. And folks, everything. You even got this excerpt that Rozar sent from Etsy, so I'll just quickly read it. Customer message: hi there, we wanted to let you know that there is a delay with your deposit that was scheduled for today. This delay was caused by recent developments regarding Silicon Valley Bank, who Etsy uses to facilitate and distribute payments to some sellers.
Right,
So-
because let me explain that. A lot of times money is being moved throughout the world. The money goes through what's known as the corresponding banking system, which means, say like you're gonna send money to Japan, and I think even America, because America still haven't got the Fed now, so they still use corresponding banking within the country. So your money might go through 10 banks before it gets to the person that you actually sent the money to, and each bank is taking a fee. That's why you pay an overall fee for a bank transaction, because each bank is taking a fee. Now, some of those transactions that are going through the world, at that moment when the bank froze all their transactions, the money would have been there. That means that transaction's done out there. And even a lot of people, they ain't gonna find out that it's not gone through for a while, because the corresponding banking system's so fucked up, it's hard to trace the money when it's on the way through. That's why they want to come up with this new ISO 20022 system with blockchain, so that you can actually track the money in each bank as it's going through. The correspondent banking system is a fucking mess, but it's like that by design. And now they're gonna show you how bad it is.
Built to fail.
It's built to fail, man. The settlement, that's why your money don't settle for 3 to 5, sometimes 5 to 7 days. It's because of the corresponding banking system. It's got to go from bank to bank to bank to bank. It don't just go from bank to bank. Sometimes it's got to go through like 20 banks.
And that's why there's been a lot of talk about instant settlements.
Instant settlement.
You know?
Yeah, man, the BIS, the new CBDC cross-border system.
Now you ain't got to hold that money, and you ain't got to wait that long.
Yeah, some people have got Nostro accounts, and it's in there too.
Yeah. Yep.
And even I was going to say as well, there's a lot of people where they're not going to get a new buyer this weekend. Definitely not. A lot of people, no startup companies, thousands of employees that are employed by those companies are missing pay run. They ain't getting no pay runs, and then they're going to be out there with no money. And most people ain't even got about a week's savings, bro.
Usually when you get let offs in them top companies, they give you a nice piece of money when you leave. In them if you get Twitter, I think when they got rid of a bunch of people, they gave them like 2 months pay, severance pay. Yeah. Listen, when that happens, you ain't getting nothing. Because the CEO ain't even getting anything.
On 250 grand.
That can't go round. Because they got to pay creditors before they pay your dumbass. You better be looking for a different job right now, or get the OnlyFans running. Or what's them things where you them apps where you got a skill, you can hire out your skill on the app and all that shit. You do a little developing, you better get that on. Well, developers will be alright. If you're a developer, developers can find a job quick. If you're a good developer anyway. Well, no.
That was the main point of that. Read one of the articles.
Yeah. So that's fine. That's on Monday, what they're gonna do on Monday. Which they already knew.
This is breaking news on the stock swing alert. The US Federal Reserve calls for an expedited meeting Monday the 13th of March. It reads, advance notice of the meeting under expedited procedures. A closed meeting of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve will be held under expedited procedures at 11:30 a.m. on Monday the 13th of March 2023. Matters considered review and determination by the Board of Governors of the advanced and discounted rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve banks.
Right, because the higher rates was part of what led to this problem. Because have you got that one where it talks about the CDs and all that stuff?
The extra incurring costs of these companies, man, is put that pressure on.
Right, is that the Raw Paul one? Yeah, that one. Let's break it down, man. Raw Paul breaks it down nicely. But exactly what happened.
So it says here, everyone has...
Now, what's the one camp that's been following? Listen, I just gotta keep it real, man. Who's been following these Federal Reserve hikes? Them other camps ain't talking about the Federal Reserve hike. They ain't talking about it. We talking about it because we know this is important in what they're doing going forward in terms of bleeding out the economy, causing unemployment. But now we see there was another angle to the upping the interest rates, which is to destroy these banks, and then obviously that's all causing unemployment because now these companies are gonna go out.
Yep. After they just posted some numbers in the US about keeping 300,000 jobs put back in the market and something like that. What about to do?
And there's some companies that will buy your company not really to keep it operational, but to strip mine it for any assets that's any good.
Yeah, no, I've witnessed that.
Fire all the people, strip mine any hard assets you might have, like buildings or whatever, and then piece it up and then sell it off and make their money like that.
Yep.
Yo, it's an evil world out there. Oh boy.
Redundancies are imminent, inevitable.
This is from Raw Poll. Everyone has given their 2 pennies on SIVB. Mine is this: the Fed jacks up rates. Deposit rates can't or don't rise.
Right, they've got the fixed deposit rates. That's the rate you get. So when you get your little bank statement at the end of the year and they're giving you what's Barclays going rate on a
0.25%.
No. So the bank, if you go to Barclays and you got like a normal checking current account, you're gonna get 0.25% interest on your balance for the year. And then when I'm handing out Barclay cards at 39 point anyway, right? So they're giving you 0.025. Inflation at the moment is at what?
10.1.
Which is actually 20%, because the inflation is usually double whatever they tell you it is. You know, just like the unemployment numbers. Yeah. So people who are in the know are like, well, it makes no sense for me to keep my savings in the bank, because the whole point of putting savings in the bank is so that you could get, it's a safe place, so it doesn't have the volatility of the, maybe say the stock market, which tends to go up 10% per year, per 10 year, per decade. However, you get dips. If you want a more steady, you put it in the savings account at that lower interest rate, right? Now you're better off doing the what's it called, the what's the CDs, because of the hikes that
basically the bonds, isn't it?
The bonds.
The bonds. So like you have 6 year, 1 year, and 2 years, the most popular, and then you can have the high risk ones which are longer, like 5 years and 10 years.
Right. So everyone started taking their money out of the bank. Not everyone, but people started taking their money out of the bank to put into this, and that's happening in a lot of these banks, but specifically they triggered it in this bank, and then word got out that they were struggling to meet their withdrawals. So they started selling, and then it got proven when they start selling assets to meet the withdrawals. So then it's like panic stations. Everyone's now that even didn't want to take their money out is trying to take their money out at the same time. Boom, obviously they can't, the money's not there. And then this is where we at.
Yeah, CDs are certificates of deposits.
Certificates of deposits.
So they had to throw the bit in that they're insured up to 250k, but essentially you can put, in most, for example, in UK banks you can put up to $1 million in certain CDs, which are called bonds here, but they're not insured up to anywhere near that amount. So let me get back into that. Just a second. So it says deposits flood into CDs and bills, leaving the banking system. Any mark-to-market losses on the bank's investments now compound their weak capital base. The depositors and shareholders get the fear, deposits flee, end literally.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
They get the fear that, hold on, something's not right here, and a bank run happens. And the apostles have been talking about bank runs since I started watching them. Right? That was before the idea of the bail-in existed.
It says here, sorry, okay, 1 second. It says, answer probably stop QT, free up reserve repo market, protect the banks.
Okay, so he's saying this is probably what the answer is going to be.
Yeah.
Stop what? QT? What's that?
Sorry, is it quantitative?
Tightening.
Yeah.
Stop quantitative tightening. Free up reserve repo market, protect the banks with weak deposit bases, the smaller banks. So that's what they might do. They might try and save these banks, or they might not. We're gonna find out on Monday. But what we do know is, whatever they do is only gonna be kicking the can down the road for a bigger version of this happening, because it's inevitable. And they're gonna blame it all on the commercial banks. Is there any more on that?
Those are the main points. It just says here, in the 1980s, we saw similar in the SNL crisis. I need to check SNL. It wiped out the regional property markets for some time. This problem today will wipe out both startups and small regional businesses and local property markets if it continues.
Right, and it's going to be a contagion. It's going to be a domino effect. There's another guy that was dropping. What other ones I sent you? What's that? Right. Let's read some of this.
So this is from Genevieve Roch-Dector from the CFA. Silicon Valley Bank just failed. On Wednesday, Silvergate announced it's ceasing operations. Thursday, Silicon Valley Bank stock crashed at 60% as the bank scrambles to shore up liquidity. Friday, SVB Bank fails, taken over by the FDIC. It's been a horrible week for banks. Silicon Valley. The bank attempted to raise capital and couldn't. Then they tried to sell to a larger bank and couldn't. Now SVB has failed and the FDIC will attempt to sell.
Right, now we know, right, if that's how you know this thing is all orchestrated, because if they really wanted to, they could have saved that bank, but they don't, because they want the crisis. Hold that, give me Revelations 12 and 12. They don't want to save the banking system. They don't want to save it. Everything they've done so far is orchestrated to create a deeper hole so that they can demolish it at the point where they want to demolish it, so that they can have the solution coming in the back end to fulfill prophecy, which is going to be the mark of the beast. And at the same time, it's going to cause riots. And that's why they're closing down banks. The riots and madness, man.
I was gonna say, this is why all these banks run on the same fucking shitty model. It's to fail. Because there's no way you can sustain something like that. Any one thing that can happen, it can destroy all of them. It's a demolition job.
There used to be hundreds of investment banks, and after 2008, there's only 4. So, and that's why they call them too big to fail. But they're gonna let them fail. They're gonna fail because they want them to fail. Because they need, the central banks are gonna be the saviors. The central bank is gonna come out of it as, listen, man, we tried to keep this thing going, but these guys, Barclays and JP Morgan and all these commercial dons, they fucked everything up for everybody in it. But don't worry, we already had a new system that we were designing, and we're gonna roll it out for you nice and sweet. And we're gonna get all these banks, and people are gonna be like, yeah, get these banks under control. They wankers. Few of them bankers probably gonna get blamed and beheaded or whatever, yeah. And they're gonna be like, okay, you banks now, since you already got the administration, we're gonna link up the digital ID. We'll assign you your customers, and you're gonna have the digital wallet, and they have to come in to get their chip, blah blah blah. You know how the thing go. That's how the thing set. They already got it going on.
This is the book of Revelation 12:12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
So you don't think the devil is coming down when you got all this inflation, when you got the energy crisis, when you got food crisis, and they're telling you, listen, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna be a poly crisis. It's them causing it.
They know. That's why they know.
That you telling me the devil ain't coming down on the people when the costs are living through the roof?
But next pandemic, the cyber attack. They're letting you know out in the open without telling you that's what we're doing.
No, it's not a cyber attack. It's the frightening scenario of a full-scale multi. Hey, the dude's a demon, man. The frightening scenario that he said, oh, the ovide, you know, because he said, he don't even say, the way you pronounce it, 19 will pale in comparison. God damn,
we must work at breakneck speed.
Yeah, bro, this guy needs to be in a Bond film immediately, man. Craig, what's his name? Craig Daniels needs to, they need to get Craig Daniels to lock this guy down. Okay, this guy's moving villainous. The frightening scenario. Poly crisis, they told you, and it's gonna come. Go on.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time.
Right, they have a short time to bring in this new world order, so they're speeding things up. Ever since the big C, they've been moving fast with the infrastructure, with the psychological operations. Just the other day it was FTX, now it's SBV, whatever. We'll see what else it's gonna be. You had it's crisis after crisis.
Yep.
You know?
Yes. So from Psalm 64, verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay, that's these devils, man. They're the ones plotting and scheming on the whole earth. You know? In the meetings and all that, that's what they're plotting.
Yeah, these guys don't get caught off guard. It's you gotta understand, it's all orchestrated. Now, I'd say, estimate maybe about 80 to 90% of all the events that you see happening on your TV are all orchestrated, including all the celebrity garbage. The slap, the Will Smith slap, and Chris Rock now is responding. And you notice all this stuff is happening while this stuff is happening. Just to keep it. And what's Jake talking about? The Chris Rock thing. Because you know Jake will always, like a child, will always be infatuated by some form of entertainment, something to do with some celebrity. You know, this
gossip. You know what I mean? I just into gossip. You know?
Yeah, you know, Kim does something. You know what I mean? Kardashian, which we get it. You know, we see all the stuff, but it's funny that it's happened. It's all happened in the same period of time.
It's not something that should take your attention off important things. You know what I'm saying? It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So when Klaus is talking about you know you're not going to own anything and all this kind of stuff, you're going to be locked into 15-minute cities and all this kind of madness. You know, you're going to be implanted. And these are bitter words, man. You don't understand. All this is slavery right now.
And don't get it twisted, right? When they really pile on that pressure and that crisis, people are going to, they know, because they're not idiots, that people are going to go buck wild. Some of you are going to get your head bust by your neighbors and mad people that's moving around the streets. But all of that is even more going to add to, the government swooping in as some form of savior.
So it's necessary what they're doing.
Everything looks necessary. Oh, we got to take control. We got to do this. We got to do that because look, man over there getting their head bust. There's racial thing going over here. These men have got so many bodies in the streets. They'll have cameras over. If we look here, you can see. Oh my God!
Live feeds on Sky News and shit getting stabbed up and madness.
We apologize for showing you this footage.
Disturbing footage.
This disturbing footage, because people gonna go buck wild, man. If the system really shut down like that, what do you think people are gonna do?
But it's chess. It's chess, man. They know how you react. That's why they do all these false flags and these trial runs of certain things. And they might not do it here. They might do it in another country.
Like Nigeria, when they had the problem getting the cash, people were going buck wild there.
Yeah. They always set like these different things around the world to test them out to see how the population reacts to them, and like some are more compliant than others. You know what I'm saying?
Some countries are a bit more buck wild, like France. They get buck wild.
Yeah.
France, they love to get buck wild. I don't know something about France.
Yeah.
England don't get buck wild. They only get buck wild on their wife after their team loses the FA Cup final or something. Yeah. Then the man get buck wild. They get buck wild at the football game, but when man are stealing the pensions and that, there's no buck wild. And it's like, oh. That's they, they're not on
half these men got pension.
they
They're getting paid enough, like.
Them man only on that.
Man, see £100, £200 in his pension account. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
And the poor.
Out there, he's one of us. He's one of us. That's when them man get wild. Them Frenchmen really be in the streets. When it comes to pensions and things like that, million man in the streets, man, attacking the
Police force.
So yeah, different countries, even different states. Like certain states full of soft people. Liberal full of soft people, and some people get more buck wild, innit? So and they're ready for that. They got all the contingencies and that planned to try and tackle that too. That's part of it. In Esau's plan.
That's why they train for the martial law.
That's why they're training, and that's why the
sword.
The Homeland Security bought all them hollow point. People forgot about that. All them hollow point bullets, which are illegal by the way in warfare.
Yeah.
Because hollow point bullets are designed to
shatter.
I know it sounds stupid, but it's designed to kill, but
shatter upon impact, isn't it?
But they shatter upon impact, man. So they're
you can take a bullet out, but it's hard to take fragments out of the body and
well, them normal bullets. I don't see. I'm not Edomite, so I don't know the technical terminologies, but we just know about the tile weapon, them. Yeah. But when them say like if you get a clean bullet through your arm, you or through your body. It's better than it, splintering off.
Yeah.
It causes more damage.
It's like them arrows. Before the arrows were like sharp but smooth, innit? But then you had them jagged ones. You couldn't take them out. But if you take it out, man, you're bleeding to death. Yeah. For sure.
You got to push it through.
You can't just walk around with the arrow, and if you take it out, man, you're dead. You're dying.
You got to push it all the way, innit?
Yeah, man. Snap it off and all that. That's what these hollow bullets are like, though.
Yeah.
Because they splinter in your body, and it's hard to deal with, man.
But they bought like 500 million of them suckers or something, man. Yeah. They bought like 5 bullets for each person or something. Each baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all been part of it, man. Ezekiel 20. I know you're probably holding it. Ezekiel 21 and 9. That's all part of. Don't think it's all part of the poly crisis that they know that they're gonna have to lay down the sword. And people are gonna be laying down the sword on each other. But again, that goes back to the prophecy. After we get Ezekiel 21, we get 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter.
I mean, that's why in the US they want to try and take as many guns as they can from people, and all that kind of stuff, And they know that's gonna rile up those that have guns because they want the freedoms and all this kind of. They know it's gonna cause that tension, but a lot of people are gonna give up their guns. They have
to get food. They will. Yeah, because some men, again, they know that there's that group of people who are gonna be rebellious to the end, and they have a pretty good idea of how many that is because. They got the AIs to run the algorithms on people's mindsets and how they react to certain things and how they feel about certain things.
Yep.
But you're always going to get those people who they're going to look to the government for food, security, You know, especially women. You just got to keep it real. If you got some single mother with a bunch of youths, yeah, she ain't trying to go buck wild out there in the streets. She want safety. So it's like, yeah, you come down to this camp and we're gonna give you food and water and you're gonna be safe here and you're gonna be some soldiers there with a big tile weapon them. She gonna go there. Because he's like, yo, if I stay here, man are moving out here like ravenous wolves. They gonna come up in here, they gonna rape me.
She gonna be moving shaky.
But there's a lot of men that's gonna be going down there for safety and security. They don't wanna get buck wild in the streets. A lot of these gangster niggas is gonna be going down there trying to, yo man, yo dog,
The fever act.
Yeah, where FEMA at? Yeah, they get that man get needy. Because they realize that it's gonna get buck wild in certain places.
Too hot.
Where people are not gonna be like how they are now. They're gonna be lawless. There's gonna be no inhibition. And that's a dangerous world to live in. Like right now we live in a fairly safe world because most people have inhibitions. Even your gangsters think twice in certain instances about where they are or you know, I don't wanna, I can't be. In that day it's just gonna be like, listen man, all bets are off, man are gonna just do it, innit?
So the power shall be in their hand, man. They're just gonna do what they will.
Why not rape this woman? Who's gonna stop me?
Why not bust up in his house?
Why not? Yeah, why not bust up in the house? And I don't know them. Now they might not do it because it's like, oh man, you know, if I do that, then I might get in trouble, or it's not worth it. Well, it's gonna be worth it then, isn't it? So it's a different type of time when shit goes downhill.
Time of Jacob's trouble, man.
Yeah.
Daniel's 12 and 1.
So if you're not a smoky person and you can't deal with that no man's land situation, you're gonna be looking for that area in the city where that they control. But you know what you're gonna, you know what you're gonna need, right? Do I need to tell you what you're gonna need when you come true? Yep, sign here. Yep, put your eye up to the iris. Yep, what's your name? Date of birth. Okay, all right. Go forward. Get your Soylent Green, man. Hey man, we're just telling you what it's gonna be. And people are gonna be fighting to get to them places. People are gonna be fighting to get that chip. They're gonna be like, why can't I get mine?
Yep.
Yeah, well, if you live in this district, you have to wait. But I'm hungry. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no, we can't chip everyone at the same time.
Yeah, he calls it all. Was it great and small?
And marking their right.
That's
I want
right.
my chip.
This is how he's gonna cause. He's causing a situation for it to happen. Right. That's what's gonna make you go and do that. For those that are prepared and willing to just go and do that, other people are gonna take more encouraging. Let's put it like that, yeah. You know. But a lot of people will just go there to get it done.
100%.
You know.
They gotta eat, right? They want to eat. They want some of that government cheese. They want a burger.
Yeah,
Them Soylent burgers, man. What they call this? All this bullshit like new meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Just don't know what it's made out of, really. But some enzyme, you know. Who knows, man? Alright, just back in Psalm 64, verse 4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they do shoot at him and fear not. Because really, Esau's main enemy is us. You know, he wants us to be destroyed,
subjugated.
Yeah, you know. So you know he targets us a lot, right? It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. And that's what knowing their goal is. What is that evil matter? To get everybody chipped.
To enslave, to enslave the people, to steal all the world's possessions.
To be like the Most High.
To be like the Most High. That's the
evil
matter. To kill. That's why one of the Illuminati bloodline quotes was, they shall not enter into the New World Order without blood sacrifice. They already know that they're gonna have to kill the majority of you people, or have you die through famine or some shit to bring in their New World Order. They ain't, even Esau ain't trying to save everyone, man.
But that's why the Jewel of the Guidestones were important, because it tells you, it's showing you that they don't want that many people on Earth anyway,
man.
So you can all go.
Even his own people.
What a massive sacrifice that would be.
And because you had this guy said, well, I'm gonna take the vaccination. Because look, they're giving it to their own people. It's like, brother, you think these elites care about these average everyday Edomites? Is that your belief? You think the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers they believe in the Edomite, one Edomite brother? Have you known history? Listen, these men have committed massacres against their own people and blamed it on the Native American Indians. Yeah.
You think they really care? They look at their own people as useless eaters, man.
They
They're
are.
not- yeah, it's the truth. I know it's the truth, but that's how they see them. So they don't really. And this is why Esau's created such a world that he don't need his own people. He don't need any people. He got AI, he got robots, he got all kinds of automations going on.
Well,
he
that's
don't need
why.
all of that.
That's why they're wondering. Well, why are they planning on shutting down all these farms in Netherlands? Because there ain't gonna be that many people to feed. You don't get it? well, there ain't enough batteries to have electric cars for everyone. Because everyone's not gonna have an electric car. You don't seem to understand. Like they're planning on downsizing the system because the system is going to be downsized because there's going to be less people. It's not an accident. Like you think you don't know? Like come on.
Because everything's counterintuitive when they bring out different things, right? All this electric car stuff about moving green and all that shit, yeah. Like again, not enough batteries. We know this anyway, right? Shit's expensive, right? People are becoming more poor, right? WF don't want you to own anything. So why they push me to get all these electric cars? You ain't gonna be able to afford it.
It's not scalable, is it?
Or you're in a 15-minute city, you don't need a car.
Yeah.
Or these super cycle highways, you don't need a car. So why they push that? It don't make no sense when you think about it.
It's not sustainable development. It's not scalable to the level of how many people there are now. So that's why they're building this cube thing, and they're gonna just stick you in the cube.
In Saudi.
Yeah. Saudi building, which shows you they're all in on it. They've all been briefed on what's going on. They've committed fornication, man.
Yep. Yeah, you got it.
This is a book of Ecclesiasticus 14 and 7. No, I'll start from.
Oh man, I'm
I'll
telling
start
you.
from 4. He that gathers by defrauding is on soul gathering for others, that shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Yeah, if Esau don't care about his own peon people, his useless eaters, how much you think he cares about you, Jake? When he had that one Jake, Esau ain't after me. He giving his own people that. He ain't gonna kill his own people. Like, blood, you're a fucking moron, man. And then you see some white bitch crying, I gave it to my daughter, and she paralyzed. It's like, bro, like, come on, like, it's like,
this is why, Scripture said never trust thy enemy. Esau is actually an enemy to everybody, right? He's anti-life. He's anti-life. He don't give a shit. So.
Well, he said, I'm not my brother's keeper, so
yeah,
that man don't care
he
about
don't care.
it. I'm an Edomite too, like,
Take
man off the boat, man.
I never knew you. What is like that?
He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envies himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness.
Yeah, these man, Esau is not right, man. But you see, look, like I said, we understand Esau's mindset and how he thinks, because his psychology is determined in the scriptures, and it's the Lord that already have put it into his mind to do these things to fulfill prophecy.
Like, to us, he's predictable.
He is predictable, isn't
we
he?
know where he wants to go
We know
to.
where it's heading, man.
So everything that he does, it makes sense when we see it. It might not make sense to you other guys out there, they're not paying attention or refuse to, but it makes sense to us the way he's moving.
That's why you get thrown off where they'll say, well, we might do, they'll come out. This CBDC thing, we're not too quite sure. But then it's like, but bro, you got documents
behind the scenes are going.
Yeah,
through,
you got documents from 20 years ago where you were running pilots, and then now you'll be like, yeah, we're gonna run a pilot. Bro, you did a pilot 20 years ago.
Yeah,
What's
we're
going
not
on?
gonna be ready for 10 years, but you'll find out it will be here tomorrow if they needed it.
They were already. Esau's the devil, so you don't get misdirected by that kind of talk. We know we know you're on this thing.
Esau's a professional liar, man.
Yeah.
You can't trust what he says. You gotta watch what he does.
And when he says shit, you gotta be able to determine whether when he's telling the truth or when he's just trying to misdirect you and lie to you, man. I bet you if he came out tomorrow and said, "Oh, we don't want to chip anyone," like you nigga, see, you GMS, you said they want to chip everyone, and Biden said he don't want to chip everyone.
Fact check.
Come on,
he said it. He didn't want to do that.
Come on, bro. Like they're gonna do it. Then they're gonna come back and say, "Well, we didn't want to do it because this happened. Now we have to do it." It gives you cover. It's just like when they say we don't want to go to war, but they already know that they're setting up to go to war, so that when they do go to war, it's like, well, we didn't really want to, but this happened.
Have to now, they're forced to.
He's so slick, man. He knows how to manipulate.
As it goes on, it said, and if he do us good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you're gonna find out, man. That this guy, man, he planned the whole thing, man, and he really imploded his own kingdom, man, trying to get it all. You know, his own greed and his own wickedness had him implode his own kingdom.
Yeah, man went all in, man.
He did it, like he's doing it. He's imploding his own kingdom, trying to establish a new kingdom. He wasn't satisfied with the one that he already has, like everything on the. He still want to do more.
Hey,
He's being driven. To
It's like my man. He's on the table playing poker, right? He's got a wad. He's got a big wad in front of him. But like,
Let's go all in.
but
Man.
you've seen all the other players, man. They still got money though. But I want to take it all off them.
And then
A
lose.
man's playing poker face. He's bluffing this and bluffing that and doing this and doing that because he wants to take everybody.
then mash
You
up
know,
the whole
but
game.
well, that's But he's gonna fucking solve over though.
Yeah.
But he's trying to get it all. He's gonna end up with nothing.
He's a mad man.
You know, but he had enough. He had enough. Scripture said that.
He was all right, man. But but that's all part of the irony of it all. Esau was all right, but the wicked is ensnared by the workings of his own hands. You know, he's driving himself to his own doom.
Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Right.
Neither
They're proud, man. They transgress by wine. They're extremely proud. Esau believed that they're gods. They believe that they're beyond the Most High's power, man. They believe that their own wisdom and their knowledge, right, can overturn the words of the Heavenly Father. That's you think anyone that thinks like that, is a madman. You need to run away from someone. Anyone that's like, you know what, man, I'm the Most High. That's a dangerous motherfucker, because that means they ain't got no check. That means that man can do anything, and he does, and he will. He's gonna do any foolishness because he's like, you know what, I did this, I know this gematria here, I know this witchcraft, I know how to do this economics, I know all these different, I got AIs, I got all this wisdom and knowledge, and I forget about what the Most High got to say, forget about prophecy, I'm just gonna do my own thing. That's a dangerous man, and he's drunk with that. He's so drunk with it that the very actions he's taking is leading to his own destruction. He's blinded by his own pride. Like, I can make this work. But it's not gonna work.
And it's not even like these men are crazy. Like they're just fiending. Like they're not crazy, innit? They're very composed. Like but it's that bad. It's like
yeah.
It's just,
they believe it.
Yeah, it's just that bad.
Man.
Like they walk around like I'm gonna walk on this earth like a god.
And that's what they believe.
You know, so anything that they do is just normal for them. Like they're not tripping or nothing like per se. Because you watch them Rothschilds, they're just fucking dudes, man. You know, but they're drinking blood and shit.
But really, they're insane, man.
Yeah.
Esau's fucking insane, man. And
it's like a psychopath. He's very
calculated.
It's like that. He's like a psychopath, man. You know.
Even with them CB loans that they gave out, the UK lost 16 billion out of fraudulent loans that they knew that they were giving out with no background checks, but then they knew ultimately speaking that none of that money was ever going to get returned back to them. And on the top of that, they were trying to they fooled the masses, telling people, if you can't afford your mortgage right now because you've been let go of your job, we're going to give you a capital repayment holiday, so you're only going to pay us interest. And then what they didn't tell people was that after that capital repayment holiday is done, you're then going to have to pay back the interest on a larger sum of money, because of the fact we basically given you that holiday period. So people were getting fucked over after like 6 months of ease. All of a sudden, when they started going back to work, they were paying higher rates on their mortgage and they didn't have no money.
They make it sound like they care. They're trying to help you, but they ain't trying to help. And that's Esau. That's Esau. You know, anything Esau doing is not really to benefit you, man. It's to benefit himself. Yeah. And when you can always go with gender, it's to benefit him. It ain't here to help you. Oh, we're making the world greener because people are dying from fucking car fumes and whatever, man.
They don't give a damn about
They
children
don't care.
dying from no damn car. And then remember that they used that black girl. And it's like Esau's the devil. And you got to know that anytime Esau's news is zeroing in on something, there's an agenda behind it. Because they remember that black girl died, innit? And there was a court case, and the court case proved that her lung disease was extenuated buy
Yeah, I remember that,
the
thing.
fumes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
and I'm like, why? Well, hold on. Esau don't give a fuck about no little black girl dying. Why is he making a big deal of it? Because he wanted to use the death of that black girl
And
to
jump
now
it.
do the UELZ zone and
Yeah,
all
further
that,
out.
which ain't really got nothing to do with that black girl. It's just they want to put pressure on the people, man.
Yeah, and get rid of your cars and you know, tax you more, pay you more fines, and that's what they want to do.
That's how the devil
It's not like they don't want to fine you. They want to fine you.
Oh, yeah. You want to find you.
They make so much income off the fucking you know, the cameras and
And, the
all
new,
that.
flower pots.
and if they want to
Yeah.
get rid of the old cars because the newer cars all got chips in them.
Nice.
And they can control them cars with these chips. The AI can get into them cars and shut them down. Because they're all connected, man.
Yeah.
But them old cars ain't got no chips.
See, that was the problem with the Independence Day aliens, bro, because they had the digital technology, so they didn't have the virus. Just shut it down. You know, digital is, you know, it's not the way.
Man gave alien technology a virus. Esau's hubris. Anyway.
Yeah.
Because his soul, which is lifted up.
That computer to a
Because
fucking alien.
that's in
You
verse
can't even
5.
plug in a Mac.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is his death.
He enlarges his desire as hell. So when he says, basically the Bible tells you that give me Deuteronomy 32 and 8. The Bible tells you that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Because this really, the earth still belongs to his creator. He just kind of he's given a possession or an inheritance to a people that he created. But the Lord gave it. It's not like if we created it, then we can say it's ours.
Now it's to do what we want.
But man, no man created the earth. That's why the Native American Indians, they were laughing at Esau when he wanted to buy land. He's like, okay, buy it then. Like, how can you own the land? You want to buy the sky as well? You know what I mean? Like that, because that was their mind frame at the time. So the earth really belongs to the Most High, but he gave every nation an inheritance according to the number of the children of Israel. So we know that our inheritance in terms of the lands that the Lord has given us was the Abraham, the land of Canaan. But then you had Moab. Moab had their land. So when you read in the scriptures, as we were coming through the King's Highway and that, the Lord said, listen, these nations that you're going to travel through their lands, don't trouble them, don't take their land. So we never took no land from Moab, even though Moab accused us of taking land from him, because Moab had taken some of Canaan's land and then tried claiming it to his own. We went into a whole war. You can go and read about that with Moab, because was it Moab or Ammon? One of them two little bastards, because they were trying to claim we took land that belonged to them. But no, we were not allowed to take land that belonged to the other nation. The Lord, the Heavenly Father told him, or Esau.
You know?
We asked Esau, the little bastard, to have water and stuff, and we told him we'll pay him money to use the water. Look, a pussy, and he never gave us none. Yeah, so he was a bad man youth from then. Yeah, he was a bad man
That's
youth
why the
from
Lord
then.
said he'd have a war with Ammonite from generation to generation.
But we had our own lands. Every nation has been given an inheritance. Esau, Edom's thing is like, fuck all that.
It's all mine.
It's all mine. New World Order, there's no nation, no Edom. It's just me
My government.
and what I say. That's what it's all about. That's why Esau don't want to. He wants to get rid of the identities, because your inheritance is attached to your identity. You got these fucking goofy morons talking about, the Messiah wasn't fully Israelite. Bro, you morons, man. How can you not be? Listen, inheritance doesn't work here if you are not of a particular identity. Prophecy doesn't work if the Lord says, listen, this is what I prophesy towards Edom. So what are you telling me? If a guy is 1% Edom, does it still apply to him or don't it? Or is it 1% applying to him? That's how stupid you are. It makes no sense. The Bible only works if when the Lord's talking to Edomites, there are Edomites, and when he's talking to Israelites, there are Israelites. So what if a guy's half Edom and half Israelite? Which fucking prophecy
Is he going to fulfill that? You know?
it's madness.
But this is why we all support. Well, normally things are changing these days, but we all hold the surnames are our fathers' names.
Yeah, no
to
confusion.
keep track of where we descend from. It's the same thing.
How can you be half? So if you're half Edomite and half Israelite, that means you're half honored and half dishonored. No, the Bible says the Lord is not the author of confusion. That's why everyone is who they are, so that you have a specific inheritance, you have a specific destiny, which is according to your identity. But that's why Esau trying to confuse all the identities, because he's the only one with the most fucked up identity. So it's like, oh no, there ain't no Edomites no more. Edomites have been done away with. There ain't no this, there ain't no that. Everyone's just human now.
Well, what's the more about? I don't know what
and you'll own nothing. And we're gonna share everything around, but they say in communism everybody's equal, but some people are more equal than others. And that's what it's gonna be. Right? And ain't nothing you're gonna do about it, because you ain't gonna have the master chip.
No power.
They're gonna have the master chips, and then master chips are gonna give them access to the system, and your little tiny little bullshit chip is you're gonna get what you're given. That's how it works. Just like they show you that in the movie Gamer. Remember, he had the master chip that can control other people that were chipped. I don't know if you've seen that film with
I've seen
Gerard Butler. The main guy, he got everyone chipped. You gotta watch. You want to watch?
No, it's not the film I was thinking about. You said Gerald Butler, it's not the film I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's called Gamer. It's got isn't that the film?
No, I have seen that.
Is it called
No, I
Gamer?
have seen that.
I thought it's called Gamer.
Maybe it is.
It's not
Or maybe I
called
think
Gamer.
they're different.
But anyway, in the film, everyone's getting chips here, but they didn't know that he had his chip control. So remember when he went into the room, it was all bare man there with guns, and then he was like, and he did the little dance, and then he could make them do the dance with him, and he's like, there are no strings on me. It's the Dexter from fucking from Dexter. Yeah. So yeah, that guy, she showed that some people, what they were showing you was when they implant everyone's implant is not gonna be equal. Some men are gonna have the next level implant, like the Zoa lords with the Zoa crystals, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Different access levels, man.
Oh, the movie they just did, what is it, Dark Water, on Netflix. There's different levels of card that they gave everyone, and when you got the highest level card, you got unlimited water access. But the man them on the lowest level, they like might get a liter a day or something.
Because it's a program, and that's why everything's digital. It's just programming these things into place, man. All your digital currency is programmed.
Agenda 2030 is equality for all and gender equality. All that bullshit just means slavery for everyone. You know what I mean?
And they show it in all these movies, Elysium and all these
everybody
types of
was
things
equal
here.
down there, weren't they?
You know, but they were living on a different level, man. Because they see themselves as masters.
They are.
You know?
So that's what Esau. So when the Bible tells you, we read that, Deuteronomy 32:8.
No, I got that.
Okay, let's read that, man. The earth. So the point is that Esau wants to steal. He wants to take everybody's possession to himself. When that's not what the Lord intended. Everyone's supposed to have their own inheritance. That's why even in the kingdom of heaven, after we release these heathens from slavery, they're gonna get their inheritances back, except Esau. Because it tells you everyone, because he's gonna lose his inheritance because he ain't gonna be here. A dead man can't have no inheritance.
That's right.
But it tells you in Isaiah 14 how every man's gonna be in his own own mansion or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna be in their own lands, right? Except Esau, he's gonna be cast out like an abominable branch, man. Go on, let's get that.
Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
So that means every nation has their inheritance, and you can go into Google and type in like Moab and Ammon and Egypt, and then man, you see where they were living, and that was the inheritance that the Lord gave them. What's his name? The children of Japheth. Yeah, they had their different inheritance, like in Europe and so forth. Man, every man had their piece that was theirs, and then you had the rest of the earth that was unclaimed. You know, so it's gonna go back when we go. Everyone's gonna go back to that original inheritance, except Esau. Judah's gonna take that land that Esau has. You know, and so he's gonna end up. The irony of it is he tried to possess everything, and he's gonna end up with nothing. Which is, I think that's
poetic justice.
Poetic justice, isn't it? I think. Beautiful.
100%.
Yeah, it's like it's circle's complete, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's why the Most High is a just power, right? Because this man's doing too much, man, and he's gotten away with it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So when the judgment comes, it's justified, balanced.
Scripture says you shall have judgment without mercy that has shown them mercy.
Here it is, 1% of the world's population, which is mainly Edomites, right, own 99%, and they want the 1% that the yeah, this man is a devil, man. Anyway,
1%
go.
that you have.
Yeah, man, this man's devil, man. It's like, fuck that. Man's, I get, he is as deaf and cannot be satisfied,
Yeah,
man. He's
I'll
just gonna
read that.
keep swallowing, man.
So in Deuteronomy 32:8, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
That's right. So then going back, they go,
Well, as I say, Jacob was given the best land. You know,
Holy Land, yeah.
you know. So when we go back to that, that's why it's going to be the center. You know, and everybody's going to go back to the respective lots that they were given, and no one can argue. You know, everyone's got the resources that they got on their plots and that kind of stuff. I know what Esau out there taking resources from everybody. You know, but you're going to go back to your own place. You know.
Yeah, which is nothing wrong with that. Because even the monkey them have their place, man. But Esau don't even want the monkey them to have their place.
The monkey
man.
don't live in the desert.
Esau,
You know what I'm saying?
he an asshole, man.
But monkey need trees.
Yeah, even the gorilla them,
Say.
man. So, Esau want to chip the gorilla them and chip everything, man. Running around with a gun, shooting off fucking darts. Esau's the devil that the Bible speaks of,
Well, the
man.
scripture also say that he had more than his heart could wish. He only got more than what he needs.
Yeah, man.
But that's just not enough for him, man, because he's the devil.
Big. There's a cautionary tale story that they tell on the islands called Big Belly Charlo, and the man loved food and he just loved to eat, so they make a pact with the devil, man. But his belly was too long. That's Esau. The man belly long. Man. The man can't stop. You get me? The greed is real. Big Belly Charlo, blood. Man belly long. That's Esau, man. Long belly Esau. That's what we're gonna call him, blood.
Habakkuk 2:5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be
He
satisfied.
cannot be satisfied. So when you think that he freed the slaves, man, nah, what Esau had in his mind
Just make more
was
off
to
you.
create an even more oppressive form of slavery.
When
he
that
was
benefits him more.
Yeah, I'm
than
gonna
what he
make
was
these
before,
guys
yeah.
think that they're not in slavery and give them certain liberties, privileges that they might not have had on the plantation, and make them think they're free when they're not really free, so that they can help me build something that's even going to be worse than the plantation that they thought they were escaping. Because it's worse. Oh, listen, you look at the slaves had to eat what they were given.
Yeah.
The slaves had to do this, do that. But the master couldn't watch every blood clot thing the slaves were doing all the time.
Mhm.
Now Esau want to know what you're thinking, bruh. Esau, they said that AI the other day, man's thinking of a flower and the AI is drawing the flower from the brainwaves. Esau wants to know what you're thinking.
That's that Minority Report, man. The precognition.
So you can't even say you weren't looking at that white woman.
I know.
I know. Yeah, you blood, man's drawing a picture of the white woman. Contravention, blood. That's it, your head gone. Yeah? So Esau want to control what you're thinking, what you're speaking, when you speak. Esau want to control when you wake up. He want to control your food down to the calorific value.
That's why rock promote when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Every man getting up at
How
4.
much strokes if you can have a woman?
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna have. They show you that in Brave New World. You most man. What's the point of you having a woman if procreation is gonna be done in a laboratory?
Mm-hmm.
That you ain't getting no pussy, dog.
You don't need a woman.
Yeah, you might not be.
Because eugenics is still in effect.
But they might just take the penis and just give everyone a vagina, man. So you can all get fucked. Yeah, it's peak. You don't know. Esau's
Hey,
mad,
but that's
bro.
what I'm saying, that the eugenics program is still running, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're still... you know what I mean? They want to whittle down the population and have what they need in
Bro,
fucking laboratories,
it's a
man.
million times worse than than what Esau had before. It's chattel slavery on a whole new level. Where you try to get angry and they got another implant in you and just inject some fucking soma, and all of a sudden you lose the anger. You can't even control your emotions. Esau wants to control.
Or was it Bezos and Gates were investing in that company to I think it's control it in your brain
Oh,
and
hold
shit.
on,
So
there's a movie like that.
yeah, Equilibrium is like that, isn't it?
No, but there's another movie that's even worse. It's called, oh man, what's that Hemsworth guy? Chris Hemsworth.
yeah.
It's with Chris Hemsworth and It's Chris Hemsworth, and basically in the film they've made a drug that manifests every emotion. So they could give you a drug that's a fair drug, and you just fucking scared. And then depending on the amount they give you, you might be so scared you just fucking pull your eyes out.
Right.
Or there's one drug that'll make you angry, or another drug make you horny. And he was testing it, and mans will just start fucking.
Oh,
Spiderhead as well.
I know what you're talking about. I ain't watched it yet.
Yo, it's a bad film.
Okay,
It's a
okay,
bad
okay.
film.
I didn't
And
know.
mans
I
will be
didn't know it was that kind of movie though. Okay,
Yeah, because
alright.
mans will be gay, and they're not. Man's
No,
not gay.
just-
They pump them full of drugs.
Yeah,
And they start fucking each other, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Like ecstasy, you know.
Yeah.
It's Spiderhead. Yeah, hey, watch that film, Arkham.
Alright.
That's what Esau wants to do, man. To control you chemicals, man. That's slavery. So you don't even have control over your own emotions, man. Esau put you in a room with a man, pump you with drugs. Next thing you know, you're doing the backstroke. Nah, allow that star, man. What kind of slavery is this? So it's even worse. So this man, his lust for power and his greed knows no end, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good ass film. What's it called? Spiderhead? Yeah, man.
Ecclesiasticus 14 and 8. The envious man has a wicked eye. The envious man has a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despises men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion.
Right, a covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. And Esau was never satisfied with his portion.
Yep.
He wanted Jacob's portion. He wanted everybody's portion, but especially our portion, because our portion is the best.
Greatest.
To be the sons of God, to be powers in the earth. He want to try and steal that, man, with technology.
That's why he's into his transhumanism and all of that, man. Because you really think, because he tries to promote that's gonna be a benefit for everybody. You know, we're gonna have fucking exo spines and shit to make us run for legs, and you think you're gonna have access to that?
No.
That shit's expensive.
But if you watch the program, even Brave New World, they show you there's different levels of people that.
Yeah, you think you're gonna
they modify people to do certain jobs, and you might just be like, dude, that cleans. Man.
Yeah. You think you're gonna get that on the NHS? You know what I'm saying? It was given an exo suit or whatever. Bro, it ain't for you, man. Them man wanna be them gods, them godlike creatures, man. So they're doing that for themselves. Fucking
life extension. Oh, the movie Carbon.
I was thinking altered carbon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah,
where only the elites get to live
Yeah,
for
the bare
the
life.
level. They got the backup, so if they
Backups.
died, they could just
They got the money to keep
re-upload.
doing it. Yeah.
And the poor people are fucked, man.
Yeah,
That's
once their sleeve's
another
gone,
good
it's gone.
program. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
another good program, man. They show you.
Yeah.
In time as well, innit? The guy where the daughter had the dad with the time bank, and then they could literally just go there when their time was running low, renew themselves, and they were living forever. Whereas the people in the ghetto were just literally living on them scraps from day to day.
Yeah.
I was running to meet his mum to give him the time, and it's
Yep.
She ran out of time, man.
Time's up.
So, your turn. Everybody must turn. There you go. Man.
And the iniquity of the wicked dries up his soul. A wicked eye envious his blade, and he is as a niggard in his table.
The word niggard means basically
Miser.
the same as a miser, meaning you don't give liberally, you don't help people, you don't give to people. And Esau is the ultimate niggard, man. And if you ain't worked that out, that Esau only gives out anything
To take.
when there's to take. So there's an ulterior motive. And you know how do you know the proof of that is? That the man ain't never got no money, bro.
That's the akin to when you're fishing, right? You put the bait on the hook, right? You're giving something to the fish. The fish, oh, that's something to eat.
But
But you're
because you gotta
catching the
eat
fish.
them, innit?
Yeah. You're the fish.
Oh no,
the
we
fish
got
is
this
food.
program and we're giving all this money a foreign aid. Then you find out it's all fucking
Fun-
bribes and all kind of fuckeries.
Blood money and dirty
and the
money.
money ain't even getting to the people Esau saying he's giving it to.
Yeah.
Oh well, we ain't got the money to do this and do that. Oh, there's war in Ukraine. Yeah, send them man like 58 billion. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's on me. What? Huh?
Taxpayer.
Wait, so you mean you had all this money to spend on the Iraq war,
Yeah,
Afghanistan war, but you couldn't pump that same money into building up Baltimore and the Negroes' neighborhoods?
Yeah.
You ain't even got a couple billion for that?
No, because it will trigger inflation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the reason. Okay.
Reason, Esau's a prick. He's a niggard. He's Ebenezer Scrooge. That's how he is, man. He don't give a fuck about the poor.
Nope. That's why he's still poor.
well, a quick bit of info on the energy profit, for example.
Yeah, every man been suffering with the energy bills
Oh,
recently.
man.
These men make a killing You think they're going to
Listen, blood.
return some of that profit to the customers?
The way
Hell
my energy
no.
bill is dealing with me, I feel like fucking Toby. Bro.
My dad continuously complaining about the damn thing now, bro.
Bro.
My dad got a good job. Honestly,
I ain't gonna lie to you, that electricity and gas thing doubled up for me, boy. It doubled up. Double. That's 100% inflation, man. Yo, the ESOL got me down bad, man. They're trying to make me sell out. It's peak. I'm the pressure right here.
But what was the reason before? They wouldn't be able to cope without the extra money coming in, but they made bare profit.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got
quickly.
read
So
it,
this
bro.
is from an article called The Conversation. Why energy companies are making so much profit despite UK windfall taxes. To pay for support for households and businesses experiencing this energy price crisis, the government introduced an additional 25% levy on oil and gas extraction from 26th of May 2022. But recent bumper earnings announcements from large oil and gas companies have called into question how effective these taxes really are. In 2022, Shell's annual income to shareholders increased by 211% from 20 billion to 42 billion. Similarly, BP reported a 200.
Now, how are these people, you see, and then because they don't care, man. How are they humanitarian? You know, we're meant to make sacrifices. Oh, wear your mask, you sacrifice.
Ethical business.
And these elite companies are not making no sacrifice. They're not saying, listen, we're going to cut back on the profits. No, they're trying to make as much profit as humanly. They're trying to, you know what I mean? Getting
Strain it all
petrol out the pump, blood. They're trying to get it all out, man. They ain't, you know? It's mad out here,
Not going to give a fuck about you and your lack of heating. On the
wow,
cold.
Man.
It's cold. It's been cold.
Even the petrol prices are too fucking high, man. And then
most that's
It's fucking tax, man.
Look, it says BP reported a 215% rise in profits, up to 28 billion from 13 billion in 2021. Fucking mad. It says
hopefully that was in hopefully the profits were in what's it called?
SVB.
man.
Over the winter months, ongoing media reports have detailed how many people are being forced to choose between heating and eating. This raises questions of fairness, which of course ain't fair, and has led to calls for further increases in windfall taxes for these companies. Revenues made versus taxes paid globally. So it says here, let me get the main point. The UK's operations accounted for only 10% of BP's total revenues from oil and natural gas exploration and production services in 2021. While Shell's revenue share was 13% for the whole of Europe, BP's financial statements include separate figures for the UK, while Shell only reports European figures. Wait 1 second.
But you know why they won't do it to these companies, man? Because they always got excuses, man. They always got
It's all part of the
excuses.
game. It's
It's
all
like
part of the
because if they put the taxes up on these companies now they're going elsewhere to do business and that kind of stuff, and we'll lose.
They need the money.
Yeah, we
They'll
lose
still be making
the
money. It's because the government and the corporations
Are in bed.
all run by the elites, and it's all. Don't worry. When you see them fighting in public, it's all bullshit. It's all orchestrated.
They're just
Same
helping each
man.
other out. You know,
They're just doing what they're doing to bring forward their agenda.
that's it.
They ain't fighting against each other, and even if you see, these oil companies, man. Listen, man, it's all smoke and mirrors, man. They all work. They already decided what's gonna happen about 10 years ago, and it's happening, isn't it? This is what it is. But they gotta make it look like there's some kickback or this is horrible, this is preposterous, all this bullshit. Yeah, man, it's all the same, man. These corporations, especially the major ones, they're all tools of the new world order, man.
Globalist.
Globalist. Alex Johnson.
Oh, where's he at these days? He went quiet again.
He probably had his money, Info was about to go.
So it even says energy companies have paid 200 billion to their shareholders within the Tory party. So the same, and they're the same ones that are coming on TV talking about, we're gonna give, we're gonna give £65 every quarter to make sure that you're able to.
Yeah, I know all politicians are crop, but the Tories are fucking criminals. They're worse. They're the worst kind.
Don't give a fuck.
They're the worst kind.
The Tories don't give a flying fuck. But it's what it is, man. Because if Labour get in,
same
the
shit.
butt fuckery continues, man.
Same
That's
shit
just how it
happens.
goes, man. know.
That's it.
Is that on that?
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to finish this off Psalm 64 and I should get verse 5 again. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right, so they think they're slick, man. They're doing it in front of people's faces, and no one really gets what's going on, man. Like, it's daylight robbery. You know what Esau's doing? He's doing it in front of your face.
Pressure. What he's doing is coming down. When you come down on someone, right? That's a form of pressure. You know, they say, I'm gonna come down on you. That means you're putting pressure on someone, like sitting on someone. And that's exactly what's happening.
Hammer of the earth.
Crisis is, it's a fucking,
Yep.
it's pressure. And pressure busts pipes.
Yep,
and
yep.
eventually it's gonna bust.
Mm-hmm.
And the MOTB is gonna come, man. And they're gonna make that announcement, man. One by one, these countries are gonna come up with the same fucking solution. Yeah? And all you guys that were saying it wasn't are gonna be choking on chicken bones, man. Fish bone. Nah, you know that's the fuck the chicken bone. You ever choked on a fish bone before? You ain't gonna believe it,
Then
man.
spines.
This brother be only eating filet, so you don't know about that, man. You don't know about when you're choking on a fish bone. You gotta get some dumpling to try and move that. You ain't got no. If you ate the last dumpling already, you're more than fucked. Like there ain't no amount of water that's gonna move that bone, bro. You better have a nice hard dumpling to move that. Them cornmeal with you know them dumplings with cornmeal in it, like, extra hard.
This verse 6. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. So Esau been at it, man.
They know.
You know.
They know what the rate hikes do. They know they got everything figured out, man. Don't ever think that this shit is happening by accident, man.
So we was going into prudence. Esau's been prudent, man.
Extremely.
On his side, on the left-hand side of things, he's been prudent.
If you look at the operation that he's running, it's a global operation, multi facets. Hey, Esau's doing his thing. That's why the Bible says the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, man. He's highly organized. You know, the way things are moving.
Yep. Says
Organized destruction, organized chaos.
Yeah. So they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them. These elites, right? Not these peons. These elites, right?
Yeah, not my man in the Emirates tonight.
It says every one of them, and the heart, their mind is deep. They're always involved in. Their mind's always on this, man. They don't think about nothing else, man. They don't sleep unless they do iniquity. That's what the scriptures say. They always wrapped up in this madness, man.
And they, remember, they plan, like we told you already, they plan 5, 10, 20 years ahead, man. You know, because the Lord put it in their spirit about the MOTB and all these years ago. They already had the idea for the MOTB like 100 years ago. They're now coming to, so man have died. Imagine elites have died and not seen the plan come to fruition because the Lord put it in, and that's how they were able to make movies from like 80, 90 years ago with these technologies, because they already had the vision that, okay, this is where we're going with this thing.
Yep.
Because the Lord put it in their spirit to do this thing.
Because in Hollywood, it don't need to work, you know. But they had the idea already there.
They do seance with demons, and the demons be telling them, yeah, do this and do that, and yeah, this scientist, get that scientist, he gonna make this work. And that. Now, some of you might not believe that, but it's true. They do seances with demons, and the demons be instructed.
Like a spiritual headhunting, man. You know, find out who they need for the job.
They said that Darwin was recruited by Satan himself. Anyway, but it might be fucking true, isn't it? Like, yeah, that was some high level demonology that he was pushing out. Right? You know, they work with the seances. They operate with speaking with these lions, and these spirits are gonna give them confidence. These spirits ain't gonna warn them. The spirits are gonna be a lion spirit, just like how this spirit was a lion spirit in the mouth of the false prophets to what prophet was it? What king was it? Ahab. Well, the same thing's going on with Esau when they're doing these seances, and them demon Baphomet turns up, you know. You know, with arms on man's shoulder. Baphomet's telling them, yeah, this new world order thing, yeah, it's gonna work, innit? Do this, do that, like, yeah, you know.
Well, that's why the scriptures say you stand now with thine enchantments, man. If so be able to, you know, kind of deliver you from the judgment. But you're gonna find that none of that shit is gonna be working, man. Because these demons ain't gonna be there to be helping you. You know.
I've got central bank digital currency tracker real quick from the Atlantic Council. Just a few quick facts on it. It says here, key findings are 114 countries representing over 95% of global GDP are currently exploring a CBDC. In May 2020, only 35 countries were considering a CBDC, a new high.
Wait, in May what?
2020.
So in May, so in the space of 2 years, it's gone from 30% of central banks to 95%.
It's 35 countries up to 114 countries.
So now it's 114 countries, which you might as well say all of them. And then you all understand as well, there's private companies who've already developed the infrastructure to issue a CBDC. So these private, which that's what what's the name? Christine Lagarde said that. Yes, at the WF. Yes, of course. We believe that the private sector has has invented and pushed forward innovation, and the public sector must work with the private. Basically, what she's telling you, there's certain private companies which we won't name, but we know who they are, right? Who have already developed the technology necessary to produce a CBDC for any country. Just like they can come in and, like you can have a company that can come in and put a system in here, then they can go into another company, put the same system in there. That already exists.
Interoperable.
So once one country gets it, another country can get it, and another country can get it, another country can get it, because they just have to basically do the thing. It's there. So all this stuff about they're at different, places and pilots means no difference. What matters most is the main central banks. The Fed, the Bank of England, and the ECB. Those three banks, what they do when they launch their CBDC, whatever platform is used to produce them, all the little mini-me's are going to be like, yeah, we're just going to do, because man's going to look, we just developed the CBDC for the Fed. We could just do one for you. It ain't going to take long. We've already done it here. We'll give you the same thing, but we just won't call it the
and if the Fed trusts it and the ECB trusts it and the Bank of England trusts it, these other guys are going to just jump on it.
It's going to be like one platform that they all just jump on, and that each central bank will still have control of their CBDC.
It's like during the pandemic, man, and the AstraZeneca, like they all just just these three companies that were providing these things. You know what I mean?
Everyone else using it. Companies, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't develop their own. Each one developed their own, innit?
So it says in May 2020, only 35 countries were considering a CBDC. A new high of 60 countries are in advanced phases of exploration. 11 countries have fully launched the digital currency, and China's pilot, which reaches 260 million people, is set to expand to most of the country in 2023. It says financial sanctions on Russia have led countries to consider payment systems that avoid the dollar. There are now 9
and that's another big bomb waiting to happen. And you see, the elites have planned it. The dollar is going to be sacrificed, and America is going to be sacrificed in that as being that financial power.
Yep.
In order to bring in this new world order. In fact, this financial change is going to lead to war, because one of the biggest tools that America has, other than their military, is their ability to sanction nations by controlling the dollar system.
Being the world reserve currency.
Being the world reserve currency and the dollar system. Because as I've spoken about earlier, is the corresponding banking system and all that stuff, the infrastructure is really only set up in the dollar. The dollar is the most liquid asset on the the most liquid asset on the planet Earth, and has the best infrastructure in order to be that world reserve currency. That's the reason why, like 10 years ago, they couldn't just say, oh, let the yen be the world reserve currency. It doesn't have the infrastructure. It can't work. It took years and years and years and years to build the rails and the infrastructure that the dollar works on.
Well, and all of the stabilization from the wars and all that kind of stuff. It helps.
Right. However,
positioning that.
There is a new form of technology which can replace the old banking system, and then you won't need that infrastructure. Blockchain technology, CBDC. Revolutionizes the whole idea of cross-border payments and movement and settlement. And then now, that's why you see the country that's furthest behind in embracing, because they really are embracing, but
they're waiting.
As a show, they're the furthest behind, is because they know the minute this blockchain thing is globally accepted, no one needs dollar. No one needs to hold dollars no more. You don't, because you could just do peer to peer with the CBDC, and there's liquidity there, you know, through certain things that we know about, and that's it. Bob's your uncle, and so that means all those dollars are no longer necessary. So what's going to happen? All those dollars go back to America where they belong.
And dump the price.
Dumped. Finished.
You know?
Yeah? So all that's getting lined up to come down the pipeline, man. Yeah. And like I said, all these things are going to lead into the time of Jacob's trouble, the mark of the beast, and World War III. It's all connected. One thing will lead to another.
So it says here,
what's the only thing America's going to have left to keep its supremacy?
Military.
The war machine.
It says there are now 9 cross-border wholesale CBDC tests and 7 cross-border retail projects, nearly double the number from 2021 previously. In 2023, over 20 countries will take significant steps towards pilots in the CBDC, some of which are Australia, Thailand, Brazil, India, South Korea.
Brits are moving forward fast.
They want to be ahead.
The ECB is also likely to start a pilot. As of December 2022, all G7 economies have now moved into the full-scale development stage of the CBDC. The New York Federal Reserve's wholesale CBDC experiment, Project Cedar, shifted from US research into development. 18 of the G20 countries are now in the advanced stage of CBDC development. Of those, 7 countries are already in pilot. Nearly every G20 country has made significant progress and invested new resources in these projects over the past 6 months.
And what do all these countries have in common? A broken fiat system. Every fucking currency is broken. The only difference is the only thing is some currencies are doing better than others. But realistically, all these fiat currencies are fucked. So they're all gonna need to replace their fiat system with a new system anyway. So yeah, so can we close up on Revelation 13 and 16? Because you see, what we're seeing now happening could very well be the FTX, and then this is looking back on it. Maybe in 6 months, it's like, rah, that was the trigger. That was the trigger, yeah. So that's why we're titillated and excited, because we want to really see. Okay, well, all right, Fed. Where are you going to take this on Monday? And how's this going to play out for the rest of the month? How's this quarter gonna go? How's the next quarter gonna go down?
Who's he gonna affect? You know?
He's gonna be like Goldberg. Who's next? Who's next, man? Because they're gonna do it.
Well, so you might want this. It's a bit of quick info on the different cross-border CBDC projects. So, real quick, I'll just skim through it. It says cross-border CBDC projects. There's loads of them. You got one called Project ABER, which is ABER. The United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia launched a bilateral CBDC pilot project called Project ABER in 2019 and concluded that the centralized ledger technology can successfully facilitate cross-border transactions. That was back in 2019.
They know.
You got Project Dunbar. The central banks of Australia, Singapore, Malaysia and South Africa began exploring a platform for international settlements through Project Dunbar as of March 2022. The project was successful in building 2 prototypes. You got Project Sailor. In June 2022, the Bank of International Settlements Innovation Hub,
which is the BIS, which you wouldn't have heard of that if you didn't watch GMS. Yeah, if you watch IUIC, you'd never hear about the Bank of International Settlements, man, in your entire life. Yeah, but they don't talk about these things. I'm just telling the truth.
But a lot of these guys don't even talk about the downfall of America, man. So there is, you know.
These dudes don't know shit, but they call us bums. Conspiracy theorists, man, and all this bullshit. Nah, man, we're just princes, man.
So between the Bank of Israel and the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the project is meant to explore cybersecurity implications of 2-tier retail CBDCs. Project Icebreaker. The Bank of
that's one of the big ones that just dropped just now.
Yeah.
The Icebreaker thing.
Yeah. The Bank of Israel, Central Bank of Norway, Severages Riskbank and BIS Innovation Hub Nordic Center announced project.
Look that up, the BIS Innovation Hub, because they've already figured it out. They already know and the rest of the central banks are gonna do what the BIS tells them to do. Because the BIS, the IMF, and the World Bank run all the banks.
You got Project Mariana. In November 2022, Banque de France, Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Swiss National Bank, in partnership with the Eurosystem BIS Innovation Hub, announced a cross-border automated marker project. This
Automated maker.
Maker project. This explores using AMMs to facilitate exchange between Swiss franc, euro, and Singapore dollar on the wholesale level.
That's funny because David Schwartz is talking about bringing in the AMM
Oh, is it? Yeah.
into the decks, innit?
Okay.
So,
You got Project Rosalind. In June 2022, the Bank of England partnered with the BIS Innovation Hub in London to create prototypes for a CBDC application program for retail CBDC, which is based on the two-tier international model. The project is aimed at understanding how central bank ledgers can effectively communicate with private sector vendors.
yeah, so basically that's talking about what role, because that's the big thing when they talk about the CBDCs. You have wholesale CBDCs, which will be a CBDC that would only operate between central banks, and then you got retail CBDCs where the average everyday person would be able to, hold and transact in. And the big thing was what role, if you're going to have a CBDC, what role will the commercial banks play in that system? Because technically they wouldn't be needed, but they are going to use them, but they can be used in a way of they're just a second tier of the CBDC as an administration front for the central bank, but the central bank still holds all the programming and controls. So they can wipe out an account if they want. They can monitor everything that's happening. Everything the banks are doing, the banks don't have to tell them what they're doing. They know because they have oversight over all the wallets, man. Yeah. That's it. All right, let's get Revelations 13 and 16. So it's fast approaching. So keep an eye out. Monday, let's see what the Fed says. What the Fed's gonna do? How they gonna tackle this crisis? But just know that the crisis is not gonna be fixed.
Ain't going away.
It ain't gonna go away. It might even seem like they've come up with a solution, but it'll just be kicking the can down the road while the contagion spreads.
Yep. The plague is slacking up, man.
The plague ain't gonna slow.
Yep.
Hey, we hella titillated today, I'm telling you, man. It's gonna be a good Monday morning. That's what I'm telling you. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be on Twitter getting the latest.
Live feeds.
Yeah, don't be on fucking IG following all the bitches, man. She looks good. Double tap. Yeah? Don't be on fucking IG just following hoes. Get yourself a Twitter account and start following some people that be dropping up to the minute information, man. That's edifying, that you can filter through the scriptures, man. Following every hoe that's updating a picture of a fucking breast and a fucking cat, man. Yeah, it's time to grow up, man. All that shit is set up for the the fucking Instagram shit. Yeah, I got Instagram, but I don't fucking use it. You know why? Because what the fuck am I using it for? You go on Instagram and it's just bare fucking holes, man. That shit can take a good 15-20 minutes out of your day, man. Because hold on, because you know what the Bible says. Let's filter this with the scriptures. The scripture says to look upon the beauty of a woman, a man love nothing better. It's actually built into our DNA to look at fucking good-looking women, man. Them perky breasts, the good booty, the good waistline, the pretty face. It's built into our fucking DNA to do that. You can't help it. You're gonna look. So what the algorithm does, it lines them up for you. So you end up, oh yeah, that's nice. Double tap
to distract you.
Double tap, and then next thing you know, 20 minutes later, it's like, oh fuck, man, what was I really meant to be doing? Because you just got caught up on all this booty, man. And if that's happening to you, maybe you need to come off that fucking Instagram, man, and get on that Twitter, and that way your feed is only gonna be, shit that you need to be seeing, man. You need to fucking grow up, man, because that pussy ain't gonna save you, man. And it ain't gonna edify you either, man. It's just gonna make you horny and fucking frustrated, man. And angry, turn you into an incel. Start hating women. There you go, man.
It's the book of Revelation 13 and 16. And he called us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hands, in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So unless you're gonna have your digital ID with your CBDC wallet, which is all gonna be incorporated into your mark, which is your implantable chip, you ain't gonna be able to do shit according to the system. You're gonna be outside the system and in the cold world, which we all know and endure. And that's what it's gonna be, you know. So you got to be prepared for that, man, in the spirit, so that you're not confused. You're not, oh, my bank account's what's going on? You know? No, they don't want to hear all that in that day. You just go, listen, all right, cool, we're in that time, innit?
Hey, that's why wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, man. This is what we're feeding ourselves with, man. This word.
You know we're almost out of here.
That's right.
When you see them bank account or a massive financial crisis like that, and then man start, yeah, we got an announcement. You know, special announcement, emergency measures. Then you already know, like, all right, man, they're about to do this thing.
Gucci Mane ain't gonna be singing about his M's in his bank account, man. It could be zero.
Gucci Mane? Yeah. All right. Anyway, this brother's got to catch that thing. So, yeah, is that A or not? Yeah. So, yeah, man. Hey, Lord willing, man. Like I said, Monday morning, Lord willing, we get some good news, innit?
Yeah, can't.
But if, like I said, we're gonna keep an eye on it, man. We're gonna keep an eye on it, see how it unfolds. I know, the elder Ariella, man, he gonna want to say something about it next week anyway. But you know how it goes, man. Let's see what happens on Monday, and then we'll revisit.
Reconvene.
We'll reconvene. All right. So that's it. Say Kal
Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Chakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstones.
That's right.
That rule well. That honors to you brothers out there in the highways teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.
Shalom.